Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about A Palace Near the Wind by Ai Jiang. Now, this is the second Ai Jiang novella that we've covered here on Bar Cart Bookshelf. Last year, we talked about Ling Hun, her debut. This is something a little different, not suburban gothic, more secondary world science fantasy. It's the first book in a novella duology, the sequel of which will come next year in 2026, and it's different from Ling Hun. It's really a lot of fun. It's a story of a young maiden who is a member of this sort of dryad-like tree spirit culture, who moves through the forests, who is clearly in some ways biologically other from people like us, very much tree-like, bark and root and pine needle, who is married into a family of humans, of a king, and this is part of a contentious relationship between these two cultures, these technologically savvy humans and these sorts of natural-oriented dryadic figures, which is a somewhat familiar combination, but really elevated here into something exciting and different. It's a novella with a lot of twists and turns, one that did not end where I thought it was going to end, and one that really delighted me in the way that it plays with some of these big ideas of conquest and deforestation and colonization and technology, and with the idea of cultural blind spots, that there are things that we can't know about ourselves or know about the world around us by virtue of not being exposed to them. That the ways in which our taught ways of thinking can lead us astray, can put us in difficult or unfamiliar or dangerous situations. And there's really cool technology there. These other groups of sort of humanoid spiritual entities. There are strange machines clanking around. There are devious machinations in palaces. All those good things that we really enjoy here on Bar Cart Bookshelf. And, I just, at the end of the day, love, love, love some science fantasy. Something that's got that real sense of the magical and the fantastical, and then also a root, if you will, in the world of technology and technological exploration, playing with the trappings of sort of both sides of our two science fiction fantasy bookends that we like to explore here. And so, of course, we had to have a drink. Our drink today is a mocktail, and it is the Feng, named for this group of tree dryadic beings. That's the name that they have for themselves. And we're going to start by getting some ice into a highball glass. It's a mocktail, and we'll get ice down in there. We're going to build it right in the glass today. Whoops. There we go. And we're going to start with 3 ounces of Douglas fir spring tip tea. Something that's nice and piney. As I said, these dryads have this sort of tree-like quality and really pine tree quality. So it's going to have this sort of springiness, this sort of herbal pininess, and really refreshing sort of herbal tea in there. So you got 3 ounces of that. You want to brew your teas that you make cocktails and mocktails with extra strong, because they've got to stand up against all of our other ingredients. And we'll get our sweetener, which is a prickly pear syrup. This is a prickly pear syrup from Yes Cocktails, and we're going to get that. We have this cactus. It's a cactus fruit, which is a common fruit in the world of Palace Near the Wind, and a really fun way to bring this sort of it's got a tropical quality to it, sort of like a guava. If you were looking for a substitute because you couldn't find prickly pear, guava would be something that you might play with in its stead. But really, that prickly pear is delightfully distinctive, and one that I would really go out of my way to try and snag. We'll get 3/4 of an ounce of that into our glass with our tea. Get a couple of dashes of Peychaud bitters, rose hip, anise, nice refreshing red pink quality to the flavor, really coming together in a wonderfully springtime way, picking up on some of the notes that we've got here with our tea, with our syrup. And we'll give that a little bit of a stir, just to start. And then, as you can see, we've still got some space in our glass. I'm going to top this with some tonic water, because this is a very bittersweet sort of situation that our characters find themselves in. This exploration of who they are in a growing and changing world, and how to be safe, how to be actualized, how to be well. Lovely. Perfect. And there you have it. This is the Feng, inspired by A Palace Near the Wind by Ai Jiang. I'm so excited for more folks to be reading this novella. A huge thank you to the publisher Titan Books for sending me an advance copy. I'm really looking forward to seeing the hardcover that I pre-ordered way back last year, and I hope that you will check it out as well. We've got a link to snag it in the description down below, as well as a link to various forms of social media, including Blue Sky and Instagram, where there's always a written version of today's recipe. We've got a link to snag my book, Cocktails and Consoles, 75 Cocktails and Mocktails Inspired by the Wonderful World of Video Games. Again, a lot of science fantasy there as well. Hit that like button. It makes me so happy when you do. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you never miss an episode. Try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And until next time, cheers!